Welcome to the weekly update, where we go in depth with a particular topic. Today we're filming at Peninsula Health's Frankston Hospital. Frankston Hospital is near and dear to the hearts of VHIA. Our CEO, Stuart McCullough, developed an interest in reading while recovering at Frankston Hospital from a broken leg, sustained in a homemade swing-related accident at the age of 6. Frankston itself is the home of the giant silver gnome, the larger sibling of VHIA's very own Tito, the golden gnome. And on the topic of siblings, Frankston Hospital is where my sisters and I were born. But we're not here to talk about broken limbs, or the golden gnome, or my sisters. We're here to talk to Val Reid, CME Coordinator at Peninsula Health, to talk about the Peninsula Health CME Online Management Tool, My Peninsula CME. Thank you for hosting us here today, Val.
Our pleasure. Thank you for coming.
So how many specialists does Peninsula Health have?
We have 400 that access or have CME entitlements across all our sites.
Wonderful. So how long has Peninsula Health used My Peninsula CME?
We're in our 4th year of using the online portal.
So how was My Peninsula CME developed?
We had a very labour-intensive paper-based trail of CME applications to process, and we had a change of our Exec Director of Medical Services come through, and he instigated a review of CME and processes. So that gave us the opportunity to think outside the square and go for a wish list of how we'd like to change it and how we'd like to develop it.
And I trust electronic CME would have been on top of that wish list.
It was definitely on top of the wish list, yes.
So prior to My Peninsula CME, how did Peninsula Health process CME claims?
So it was a very manual paper trail. The doctors or the consultants would have to come into the health service, get the appropriate application form, lodge it. It would get lodged with the department admin support, and they would go through it. They would then have it signed off by the clinical director, and it would come to myself in later years, but earlier than that it went to the senior staff manager, who would review it, present it to the EDMS for sign-off, and the paper trail would start again over to finance. Then it would be processed by finance and uploaded to Oracle, and it was labour-intensive. So it was the scrutiny around the claim being all intact and properly submitted was a to and fro process, very frustrating for the staff involved, and also equally, if not more, frustrating to the doctor.
So prior to My Peninsula CME, a senior medical staff member would have to come into the hospital, pick up a paper form, fill out the paper form, provide the paper form to the administrative staff of the unit.
Yes.
That administrative staff member would then have to give it to the clinical head of the unit.
Yes.
Who would then take a look at the document. Then if there was any issues, go back to the doctor, who would have to start the process all over again.
That's about right.
If everything was okay, at that point, it would then go to the senior medical staff coordinator groups.
Yes.
Then if it was approved through that process, then another paper form would be provided to finance to then process the payment of the CME claim.
Yes.
And that would take a lot of time.
It did.
So take me through My Peninsula CME. I trust that My Peninsula CME is only slightly more efficient.
Well, I'd like to think it's much more efficient, but I might be biased. So in collaboration with the anaesthetic department and their senior medical staff, we sort of put together a wish list of all the things we'd like to do. So we wanted to have online access, we wanted to have a notification process of the status of the claims as they went through their journey. We wanted to be able to upload the website for the programs and have an online link to the programs instead of the physical paperwork trail of that. We also wanted to be able to upload electronically the receipts of all the different claims they were submitting. We wanted it to be automated from the point of view of the doctor could just log in and all his details would be there, and he didn't have to fill in cost centres and subjective codes and all of these types of things. And he had a drop-down box of selecting conference registration, flights, accommodation. So everything was straightforward and simple. So the process was quite transparent. and they submitted it, and they got a notification to say claim submitted. When it was reviewed by the clinical director, it was a notification, it was approved by the clinical director. It had been approved and completed by the coordinator. It was sent to finance for payment, and it was paid, and they get a notification of the Oracle payment details around that.
So fantastic. So you went from a completely paper-based process to a completely online process where there's notifications throughout the entire process. The doctors are somewhat guided as to what they can claim via the drop-down box. There was, you reduced the amount of paper they had to produce by being able to put the link to the program or the course that they were attending. So you made it a lot easier from the get-go.
Yes, we did.
So what does Peninsula Health see after the claim has been made by the doctor?
So we basically see the claim as submitted by the doctor, and we have access to all the online documentation uploaded that we can review. And we also go through, it also self-totals the claim. We basically see what the doctor has submitted. It's just a reflection of what the claim he submitted is. In saying that, the doctor has the provision to make notes, so he can put any special considerations to his claim where he has free text to make notes. The approver at the clinical director's level or head of unit level also has the potential to do free text conversation, which can be reverted and instantly sent back to the doctor for communication or a question or an answer, so that the to and throwing of communication is instant. And again, when I go in to review the claim and complete the claim to make sure it's compliant to the guidelines, the doctor sees all my comments, and I can also upload any emails that he has sent requesting changes to the claim or verification of what he has said. So everything in an email text can also be loaded up to support the claim.
Fantastic. So when you have a claim that's been lodged by a doctor, and there might be some items that appear to be inconsistent with the CME clause, say there's no tax invoice or there's no receipt. How does Peninsula Health use the My CME program to address that?
On the claim form, we have an open link to his email address. So all I have to do is click on to his email link. That sends him a message. I say, CME claim such and such, need a tax invoice. It normally is connected to his private email, and often within 10 minutes, I've got that tax invoice. I load it up to the claim's completed. Fantastic.
So the agreement provides that Peninsula Health has 30 calendar days to assess the claim. What's your rate of success in achieving that timeframe?
If the claim is ready for and submitted correctly, I would think we're up in our 99% of claim reimbursed within 7 to 14 days in a standard claim.
Fantastic. Have you had any claims go missing?
No, I haven't. And it's not my fault.
So the doctor receives status updates as the claim progresses?
That's right. Every approval process, when it's submitted, he gets to say that it's been successfully submitted. He gets notification when it's been successfully approved by a clinical director. And he also can view at any time the comments the clinical director would make in regards to that notification. So he is also abreast and kept updated on what is being commented about his claim.
So we've got a program here that has complete end-to-end management of a CME claim, from the creation of the claim where the doctor can complete it at home or at their private clinic or here on site.
Or on his plane on the way home from his conference.
They can complete the claim, they get notified the claim's been submitted, they get email updates through the entire process. If at any time Peninsula Health has a question or a concern, you can upload the emails sent and received and anything that the doctor's provided in response, including receipts, up into the program that keeps it all in one file.
All in one file. And the doctor's got access to that at any time.
So can the doctors see their claim history and their outstanding
Yes.
CME balance?
Their claim history is stored for them, and every year they can go back. They can. The process allows for my information at the start of the claim process, where they're putting their bank details and their email address of choice. If that at any time is updated, then that notification is sent to finance so that the finance bank details are also updated. The doctor then has a summary of entitlements, which is based on a yearly summary of what he's claimed, and he can access any of those claims throughout the year. And now in our system, the doctor can access claims up to 4 years old.
Fantastic. So where is the claim history stored for each doctor?
It's stored in the cloud. So the programmer has an extensive security system based around what he's provided to us. So we have had no issue in regards to the level of security around that. Our IT department was quite involved in setting it up initially to ensure that the privacy aspect and security aspect was quite intact and in line with other major providers.
So you don't have boxes of receipts and forms and emails sitting there
No, nothing.
in your office? No?
Well,
It's all in the
I still
cloud.
have boxes in my office, but that's some other things that aren't yet
before My
online.
Peninsula CME.
No, it's a very streamlined process.
So does the My Peninsula CME program link with your payments program and with
Yes.
finance?
Yes. So this year we developed the Oracle upload. So now our processing, which would take previously a couple of days for finance to upload to Oracle, is now automated, and once fed in through Excel or through the portals that they do. I'm not very technical, I'm afraid. That's now just takes a couple of hours. For example, in the financial year, I processed over 150 claims in the last 2 days, and they've been uploaded and paid within 2 hours.
That's fantastic. So other than the obvious administrative efficiencies that we've spoken about, what other improvements has this program resulted in?
Well, when I was working with the anaesthetics department on developing, they suggested that we perhaps consider a leave portal as well, because for a lot of our senior medical staff, they are also VMOs. So again, to have a leave form request portal is to their advantage. So we developed a leave access for them. So that leave connection automatically uploads. If it's CME leave, it uploads to the claim, which is a requirement at our health service, but at other health services that might not be the case. And they also have a full history of all their leave, and that again is stored in the cloud. So that's a notification of approval process again for them. Their hours are allocated off rosters by admin staff, approved by head of department and sent automatically to payroll for processing. So again, it's a streamlined process for them with notification all the way along for their leave.
Would it be fair to say that the doctors have a better understanding now of what's required for a successful CME claim?
I think so. I think it's when I first started taking over CME, which would have been about 5 years ago, which was a challenging role with people unfamiliar because of perhaps poor access to the guidelines and poor understanding of it. But now I would think the percentage of claims that I would now query would be something like 10 or 15%, whereas once upon a time it would have been 80 to 90%. So there's a much greater understanding of the doctors on how to do it. The simple process makes it very transparent for them, and I think it has helped self-educate them. The guidelines are also accessible in the claim. They can download and reference the guidelines during the process, yes. So the guidelines are there.
So it's very difficult for a doctor to submit an incomplete claim now because of the way the system's set up.
Yes.
So
it gives them prompts to tell them that they have not uploaded their documentation or that they haven't proceeded to the next step. So it'll just give them a prompt before it closes off, yes.
And do you find that the relationship between the senior medical staff making a CME claim and the hospital has improved through the transparency of this program?
I think it has. I have been here for a long time, and I was very lucky to take on the role in the first place, as I've had a good relationship with senior medical staff. I've been here a long time and they know me. So I think in saying that, I was very fortunate that they were quite accepting of a change of process and perhaps trusted that it would work, and I think they are very happy on majority with the actual process and the ease and their speed of recovery for the process and recovery of their money.
Yes. So can the program be customised to other health services needs?
Yes, the claims can be all customised to whatever the health services would like to run with, and also the workflow and the approval process can be aligned to what their structure is, so that's not a problem. Melbourne Health and the Alfred are both online with the same process, are customised to their needs.
Fantastic. So if members had any further questions about the success of the My Peninsula CME program, who should they contact?
They can contact me, Val Reid at Peninsula Health, CME Coordinator.
Well, thank you again, Valerie, and also Peninsula Health for your hospitality today. I'm going to pay Tito's large silver sibling a visit on the way home.
Or take care crossing Frankston Road, Daniel.
Thank you, Val.
Thank you.